Speaking of Halloween, did you watch Agatha all along?
I did. I mean, seriously, I'm like low on commentary here. I don't understand the show.
I thought it was like, yeah, it was garbage. So this is Agatha Harkness, the witch that Wanda like battles at the end of WandaVision. She's like the nosy neighbor in the beginning when it's the sitcom. So it starts off, it's like a kind of a parody of like True Detective or maybe like a Mayor of Easttown kind of thing. It's trying to like evoke WandaVision, like how it did send-offs of sitcoms, but they're not taking it very seriously. I think there is a version of this where you could do like a send-up of true crime thrillers and just take it dead serious until like it's really half-assed. It's half-assed in this first episode and it wraps up really quick.
The reason that we were parodying TV shows is because Wanda herself was creating these alternate realities that were taking on, because she was inspired by sitcoms. She was like a little kid who wanted to escape to the sitcom world. So thematically there was a reason. Then by the end of WandaVision, the spell, she stops everything. She releases everybody in the town that she's kind of kidnapped. She defeats Catherine Hahn, puts her under a spell to make her like a normie, and then leaves the town.
Yeah, it was in her head, but Agatha's head, but like because she was under the spell.
Okay, so Wanda's spell caused her to see things this way.
But there's no reason for it. It's just remember WandaVision, how we did sitcoms, and now we're just doing a true crime thing because we did sitcoms last time, and this time we're doing a true crime thing, and it's going to be funny.
You could explain it. You could write a thing that made it so that made sense.
Yeah.
And then, she's investigating a murder, and then it turns out the person that was murdered is Wanda. So I suppose, spoilers, in this show, Wanda is in fact dead? Maybe?
Well, yeah, because they said she got crushed or whatever by rocks
Doctor Strange.
or something. No, just Doctor Strange, which please don't remind me of that movie. But
well, that's the other thing is I kind of feel like WandaVision, which for my money was quite a good show. Yes, not the Kat Denning side story with Monica Rambeau and all that. That's all horseshit. That was Marvel to come. but the other half, the part with Vision and Wanda, and Catherine Hahn, who I really liked in that show, I thought was pretty great and pretty special and really captivating. I actually thought the story with her and Vision and the children and all that was really heartbreaking and beautifully done, actually, by the end of it. So I was kind of awaiting the Doctor Strange follow-up. They have a really ripe soil to grow something here. And then instead, Wanda just became a cartoonish villain. And so that movie already threw ice cold water on WandaVision. And now this is supposed to be a follow-up to it. And you fucking ruined WandaVision, and I don't know why I'm here.
And even, in Doctor Strange, it didn't quite connect to Wanda. There's certain things that didn't quite connect to WandaVision. They wrote the movie without having seen WandaVision.
It reminds me of, remember you used to hear about, they would make, the toys or the video game for some show or movie, before the movie or show got made or while it was in production or before there's a screenplay. So there's multiple product people working on the same project, but they're not in concert with one another.
Or
Doctor Strange
or the first season of TV shows. Cause remember they used to have 24 episodes of a TV show in a year. And so they would have to write these things simultaneously. So some things didn't quite line up from episode to episode because they were just figuring it out.
Yeah, so Aubrey Plaza shows up, right? I'm just going to be honest with the audience here. I'm not a Plaza fan. I just feel like it's a one note thing, which is I say something weird and then I stare at you. I say something weird and I stare at you. And Jenny Ortega does that too. Yeah. I showed up today.
Yeah, so and then she also in her dream there's that the teen shows up and then she takes him down to the station, but then in real life after the spell is broken somehow, I kind of forget how because I'm not paying attention to the show, but but then he's tied up in her house. So some things were happening in the real world and some things weren't. It just didn't make any sense. It felt very like the first draft that was written the night before.
Or maybe a longer show that got cut down. It's sort of like Echo, actually. Remember Echo ended up being, the first episode was unnecessarily incoherent. Yeah, you could tell like the studio tried to get their mitts on it. I heard something recently that Kevin Feige really wants to make Eternals 2, and that Bob Iger says no because it's sure to be a failure. And it sounds like Bob Iger, after all this time, God, his patience has been tested clearly, has decided like, hey, no more things that are obviously going to fail. How about that? Such a strange media climate. You know,
I know, it's like groundbreaking. Yes. Yeah, and I've noticed this was branded Marvel Television. Is this one of the first ones branded Marvel Television, showing that it's lesser. It's a lesser.
Yeah. Can I pay less for the subscription this month? Because the whole thing at one time was like, you're going to get $200 million movies as TV shows on this thing. And it just didn't take that long, did it, before it became like just network TV.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, then the teen is like a warlock or wannabe warlock, and he wants like Agatha to take him on the witch's road or something. So they start trying to get a coven. So they go off to all these other witches.
But I don't know why. I don't know why a coven's necessary.
They don't tell us really.
Yeah.
But then they really awkwardly in each of these scenes like do the backstory of these characters and back and forths. And then Agatha like is like, oh, you're in trouble. Okay, this is your problem. I can help you if you come join me. And that's every scene. Every scene is that.
Well, yeah, I think they're trying to do Blues Brothers. They're trying to get the band back together with characters you've never met before. Like I tell you, not one of those fucking witches was I like, oh, she's interesting. Not one. I was like, this is like a rogues gallery of just boring individuals.
It's like Birds of Prey or whatever. You know?
Yeah, like Birds of Prey, where there's like one, the main person is pretty charismatic, even though the movie show she's in is, she's overqualified for it. Because I think Catherine Hahn is a great actress, actually.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
She's a really talented person, and she's unfortunately in a project that's. I mean, it's not every day she gets to lead a project too. She's normally like she's a character actor, a supporting actor.
And so she gets to lead this sinking ship.
It's a shame because WandaVision had it, man. I was like, is there any hope I might like this thing? I like Halloween. I like spooky shit. I like Catherine Hahn. I liked WandaVision. Is there any hope? And I was ready to like it even as a lesser product. I was like, all right, how about it'll be kind of like Werewolf by Night or something. It'll just be some lesser thing. But it's like, goddamn, it's so fucking boring and so eventless.
And she's like tied to that like CW actor with a broccoli haircut, and you're just like, oh god, we're doing this.
Yeah, and they're 45 minutes long. Like they need to be Acolyte sized, which is what 22 or something. Like this is bite sized,
even shorter than Acolyte.
Like give me your thirst trap, Sith Lord, and let's get out of here.
And so she gets the coven together, and they sing like a cringy song, and this opens like a door, and there's like witches trying to get them while they're singing the cringe song. I don't know what it is with Disney shows and having singing witches. I'm not sure if it's just it's in the air, it's in the water over there.
They love their witches and shit. I think Catherine Hahn is obviously like a musical theater. I don't know if she's like a stage actress or whatever, but I assume so. She's obviously a wonderful singer. She's like a really talented singer. And I have a feeling that like all of those witches were hired out of musical theater or out of and I think they just all had it'd be like if the whole cast had their like pilot's licenses and they never got to fly a plane in the show. It felt like that to me. And I assume too that the director and the creator these are probably theater kids and they were just like, let's sing, shall we? It's better than Echo, I'll give you that. Or is it actually?
What? No. Are you high?
You liked Echo, did you?
I think it's better than this.
Yeah, interesting.
I don't know. They're both really bad, and so it's like it's
this
hard
is the problem.
Say.
This is the problem. But what I have found is when you watch like many bad shows every single year,
and you have to make a tier list within this bad show tier.
What happens is you tend to like the thing you don't have to currently watch more.
Yes, exactly. Okay, you're right. These are all torture.
Well, but like suddenly, like in the sharp light of day, Acolyte always ends up looking pretty good, just based on the fact that like it was kind of a riot to watch it week after week and see what the fuck they were gonna do.
The run times were low, and
it was kind of like
traps.
It was easy.
Rick James haircuts, and you're just like, oh, I don't know.
I would have felt the same way about She-Hulk maybe if it had. I remember it had a lot of episodes though. It went on for a lot of weeks.
Yeah, and it was just painfully not
It was
funny.
a slog. But you never knew who was going to twerk next. I guess that really is the story of that show. Like whenever anybody cuts to a clip of that show or mentions that, it's just the twerking scene. They really don't mention. I suppose when the Hulk's son shows up at the end. Remember that?
Yeah, that's lesser. No, if Critical Drinkers referencing She-Hulk, that clip is coming up.
Yeah, it is kind of mind-boggling. I hope that Hulk's son shows up in this thing. As I was watching, because he could, it's all interconnected.
Oh yeah.
As I'm watching this, I'm thinking like, is this Marvel? Like Iron Man and all that? Is that what I'm watching?
Yeah, it reminds me of those like ABC Family shows, but at the same time, I'd rather watch Pretty Little Liars than this show.
Yeah, or like Seventh Heaven. Remember, there's a viral clip of Seventh Heaven going around where like the wife, she's like, I smoked pot, and then the viral video I keep seeing cuts to like this dog that looks like he smoked pot too. Anyway, it'll be very funny when the clip is cut in here.
I want you to know that I've smoked pot.
That's all I got to say about it for now, but I'm pretty depressed. Depressed that we have to watch it for 7 more weeks because they're trying to time it with Halloween or something. Could you do maybe, can we double up? Can we do 2 a week and get through this?
Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road.
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon for full episodes every other week.